Wow! Now dig this. It's 1 a.m. and my hungry ear strains but does not hear. Oh, where is the commercial for spray-on hair? Man, it's nowhere. And oh, dehydrated fruit, your point is moot. And Mr. Hot Air Cooker, your convection is way uncool. So dig these cats who come in the night to push away the claptrap clutter of these waves like permanent man. So spray if you must this old bald head, but here at the hungry ear, like some deep, dark raven, we shout at infomercials, nevermore.
Celebrating 30 years of hot coffee and cool movies with Offbeat Cinema. Brought to you by Mighty Taco, celebrating 50 years of the great taste at mightytaco.com.
Welcome to Offbeat Cinema. You are inside the Hungry Ear Coffee House, and trust me, it is a mad pad daddy-o. With me tonight is, of course, my good friend and beatnik buddy for a long time. Can you feel it, Bird? The air tonight with kinetic potential and maybe even paranormal possibilities. It seems as if the spirits have begun to move about.
Oh, wow, is that what it is? You know, I'm glad you brought that up, Zelda, because, you know, I could certainly feel the vibrations of something going on, but, you know, I just thought it was the effects of the bagels and lox that I had this morning that, for breakfast, and let's just say it was well beyond its bye-bye date, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, Bird. Well, I am glad that it is the spirits that are upon you and not the after effects of that aged lox. Anyway, cats, we cannot get distracted by Bird's gastrological issues because there is just too much going on in the house tonight. As you can see, champagne has replaced our coffee as our drink of choice because we are celebrating. And we have poured a ceremonial glass for all of you out there in the dark so that you can celebrate with us. Offbeat Cinema has turned 30. Can you believe it? It is so hard to believe, but we have been showing you the movies that must be shown for 30 years now.
Oh, you know, and like, there's certainly been some far gone cats and chicks in the coffee house over the years, and we're going to drift down memory lane just a little later to give you a taste.
As well as show you some scenes from our birthday celebration that we had, and that was certainly a very cool time indeed. There were a lot of us there that were a tad slow the next day.
Ah, yes, Zelda. Yes, the spirits, the parties, the celebrating till all hours of the night. It's fun and far out, but as we like to say, the movie is the thing. So, you know, tonight we have one of the best horror movies of all time, the original 1968 George Romero classic, Night of the Living Dead. And as you would say, Zelda, it is a perfect movie just for a night just like this.
Yes, indeed, Bird. This is the perfect movie for tonight. And it is a true horror classic and a film that was considered so shocking when it first came out that it was banned in many cities and many countries around the world.
It's the truth, Zelda. You know, cats, this film has lost none of its original power, and it still sets the standard for all zombie films that came after. And, you know, all other zombie films are compared to it, and few, if any, can even measure up.
This is true. This is very true. This film had no real budget to work with when it was first produced. Many of the zombies were just friends of George Romero, the director. But it was the story and the film style, as well as the late fall filming, that created such an atmosphere of dread and decay. It all came together to make one incredible film.
Yeah, well, you know, the film, of course, but we're a bit nostalgic tonight for many reasons. But the real story is that this movie was the first flick we showed on the first Offbeat Cinema ever on Halloween night 30 years ago. And we're going to be showing you cats a little bit of that show along the way.
I'm just getting a little verklempt, Bert.
It's
And Theo, who is, I'll pull myself together.
pull it together.
Theo, who's on the road, will be showing us the cemetery where the classic opening moments of The Night of the Living Dead was filmed. And we do hope that there are not still zombies hanging out there. They are coming to get you, Theo. But now dig this horror classic, Night of the Living Dead, as we celebrate, kind of responsibly, 30 years of showing you cool movies like this. Ooh.
They ought to make the day the time changes, the first day of summer.
What?
Well, it's 8 o'clock and it's still light.
A lot of good the extra daylight does us. Now, we've still got a 3-hour drive back. We're not going to be home until after midnight.
Well, if it really bugged you, Johnny, you wouldn't do it.
You think I want to blow Sunday on a scene like this? You know, I figure we're either going to have to move Mother out here or move the grave into Pittsburgh.
She can't make a trip like this.
Oh, you know that she can't. Is there any of that candy left?
No.
Look at this thing. We still remember. I don't. You know, I don't even remember what the man looks like.
Johnny, it takes you 5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes to put the wreath on the grave and 6 hours to drive back and forth. Mother wants to remember, so we trot 200 miles into the country and she stays at home.
Well, we're here, John, all right?
Test. We're back on? Oh. Ladies and
Hey,
gentlemen, we're coming back on the air after an interruption due to technical problem.
There's nothing wrong with the radio. Must have been the station.
Which row is it in?
There's no one around.
Well, it's late. If you'd gotten up earlier.
Oh, look, I already lost an hour's sleep when the time changed.
I think you complain just to hear yourself talk. There it is.
I wonder what happened to the one from last year. Each year we spend good money on these things. We come out here and the one from last year's gone.
Well, the flowers die, and the caretaker or somebody takes them away.
Yeah, a little spit and polish. You can clean this up. Sell it next year. Wonder how many times we bought the same one. Hey, come on, Barb. Church was this morning, huh? Hey, I mean, praying's for church, huh? Come on.
I haven't seen you in church lately.
Well, there's not much sense in my going to church. Do you remember one time when we were small, we were out here? It was from right over there. I jumped out at you from behind the tree, and Grandpa got all excited, and he shook his fist at me, and he said, "Boy, you be damned to hell." Remember that? Right over there. Well, you used to really be scared here.
Johnny,
You're still afraid.
stop it now. I mean it.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Stop it. You're ignorant.
They're coming for you, Barbara.
Stop it. You're acting like a child.
They're coming for you. Look, there comes one of them now.
He'll hear you.
Here he comes now. I'm getting out of here.
Johnny. Oh, no! No! Johnny! Help
Calling all beatniks.
Looking for offbeat cinema swag? We've got it.
T-shirts, 20-ounce classic coffee mugs, hats, more hats, stickers, and more.
Man, like this is commercialism.
Cats, do we have Offbeat Cinema swag? Well, as a matter of fact, we do.
Get with the in-crowd. Order your Offbeat Cinema merchandise today. Just go to offbeatcinema.tv for details.
Cats, in 1967, a young filmmaker named George Romero decided to make a film with his friends just north of Pittsburgh in Evans City, Pennsylvania. He wanted to make a monster movie, and instead what he made was a legend. Now, I recently visited Evans City, Pennsylvania, and in fact the cemetery where Mr. Romero and his friends started production on Night of the Living Dead. I thought it would be kind of cool to share some of that with you. The Evans City Cemetery has changed very little over the years, and the same grave markers as seen at the beginning of the film are still there, as is the chapel that features prominently. And in visiting this spot, this very important spot in the history of genre film, I couldn't help but feel that maybe there was still a bit of Mr. George Romero in the wind as well. Evans City, Pennsylvania also hasn't changed much since 1967, and in fact is proud of its heritage as the home of Night of the Living Dead. Yearly, the Night of the Living Dead Festival takes place, and devotees of the classic film gather to commemorate and celebrate its importance, and just have some good fun. Well, Cats, you know, George Romero was a real dreamer, and look at what his dream has brought. He created a genre. The first sequel, Dawn of the Dead, and all of the spin-offs and remakes and reboots. But you know, and I know you know, there's only one original Night of the Living Dead.
All right. Don't worry about him. I can handle him. Probably be a lot more of them as soon as they find out about us. The truck is out of gas. This pump out here is locked. Is there a key? We can try to get out here if we can get some gas. Is there a key? I suppose you've tried this. Do you live here? Jesus. We've got to get out of here. We have to get where there's some other people. Maybe we better take some food. I'll see if I can find some food.
What's happening?
Oh, you think it's happening?
What's happening?
Two of them. There are two of them out there. Have you seen any more around here? I can take care of those two.
I don't
I know you're afraid, but we have
I
to...
don't know! I don't know! What's happening?
know we're in here now. Don't look at it.
Get some more lights on in this house. Why don't you see if you can find some wood, some board, something there by the fireplace, something we can nail this place up. Oh, God damn it! Look, I know you're afraid. I'm afraid too. But we have to try to board the house up together. Now, I'm going to board up the windows and the doors. Do you understand? We'll be all right here. We'll be all right here until someone comes to rescue us. But we'll have to work together. You'll have to help me. Now, I want you to go in and get some wood so I can board the place up. Do you understand? Okay? Okay? That's wrong. Here, I want you to pick out some nails. Pick out the biggest ones you can find. There, this room looks pretty secure. If we have to, we can run in here and board up the doors. Won't be long before those things be back pounding their way in here. They're afraid now. They're afraid of fire. I found that out. You know a place back down the road called Beekman's? Beekman's Diner? Anyhow, that's where I found that truck I have out there. There's a radio in the truck. I jumped in to listen to it when a big gasoline truck came screaming right across the road. But there must have been 10, 15 of those things chasing after it, grabbing and holding on. Now, I didn't see them at first. I could just see that the truck was moving in a funny way. And those things were catching up to it. The truck went right across the road. Slammed on my brakes to keep from hitting it myself. It went right through the guardrail. I guess the driver must have cut off the road into that gas station by Beekman's Diner. It went right through the billboard, ripped over a gas pump, and never stopped moving. By now, it's like a moving bonfire.
Galveston areas, but nothing like
I found a gun and some bullets out there.
It was only late yesterday
and
these became clear we were facing some kind of national emergency. When first reports began filtering in, newsmen and law enforcement agencies were of the opinion
this place is boarded up pretty solid now.
In nature. However, as these
we ought to be all right here for a while.
Dramatically, it was soon apparent that
we have the
was
gun and
more than
bullets,
the run of lawlessness.
food and the radio.
Began to suspect an obscure kind of conspiracy.
Sooner or later, someone's bound to come and get us out.
Creatures from outer space. So again, we joined with law enforcement agencies, urging you to seek shelter in a building. lock the doors and windows securely.
Hey, that's us. We're doing all right.
Cautious of any suspicious strangers. And keep tuned to your radio and television for survival instructions and further details of this continuing story.
Look, I don't know if you're hearing me, but I'm going upstairs now. If anything should try to break in here, I can hear it from up there. I'll be down to take care of it. Everything is all right for now. I'll be back to reinforce the windows and doors later. But you'll be all right for now, okay? Okay.
Civil defense officials in Cumberland have told newsmen that murder victims show evidence of having been partially devoured by their murderers. Consistent reports from witnesses to the effect that people who acted as though they were in a kind of trance were killing and eating their victims prompted authorities to examine the bodies of some of the victims. Medical authorities in Cumberland have concluded that in all cases, the killers are eating the flesh of the people they murdered. Repeating this latest bulletin just received moments ago from Cumberland, Maryland, civil defense authorities have told newsmen that murder victims show evidence of having been partially devoured by their murderers. Medical examination of victims' bodies shows conclusively that the killers are eating the flesh of the people they kill. And so this incredible story becomes more ghastly with each report. It's difficult to imagine such a thing actually happening, but these are the reports we have been receiving and passing on to you, reports which have been verified as completely as is possible in this confused situation. It is happening, and it would appear that no one is safe from this wave of mass murder.
Don't shoot! We're from town. A radio.
County, Pennsylvania. The Butler County Sheriff has verified that reports of murder victims being partially eaten by their slayers is true. No further details available at this time. However,
How long have you guys been down there? I could use some help up here.
That's the cellar. It's the safest place.
You mean you didn't hear the racket we were making up here?
How are we supposed to know what was going on? Could have been those things for all we knew.
That girl was screaming. Sure, you must know what a girl's screaming sounds like. Those things don't make any noise. Anybody would know somebody if they needed help.
Look, it's kind of hard to hear what's going on from down there. We thought we could hear screams, but for all we knew, that could have meant those things were in the house afterward.
And you wouldn't come up and help?
Well, if there were more. The racket sounded like the place was being ripped apart. How were we supposed to know what was going on?
Now, wait a minute. You just got finished saying you couldn't hear from down there. Now you say it sounded like the place was being ripped apart. It would be nice if you get your story straight, man.
All right, now you tell me. I'm not going to take that kind of a chance when we got a safe place. We luck into a safe place, and you're telling us we got to risk our lives just because somebody might need help, huh?
Yeah, something like that.
All right, why don't we settle this? Look, mister, we came up. Okay, we're here. Now I suggest we all go back downstairs before any of those things find out we're in here.
They can't get in here.
You got the whole place boarded up?
Yeah, most of it. All but a few spots upstairs. They won't be hard to fix.
You're insane. The cellar's the safest place.
I'm telling you, they can't get in here.
And I'm telling you, those things turned over our car. We were damn lucky to get away at all. Now you tell me those things can't get through this lousy pile of wood? His wife and kids downstairs. The kid's hurt.
Well, I still think we're better off up here.
We could strengthen everything up, Mr. Cooper.
With all of us working, we could fix this place up in no time. We have everything we need up here.
We can take all that stuff downstairs with us. Man, you're really crazy, you know that? You got 1,000,000 windows up here. All these windows, you're gonna make them strong enough to keep these things out, huh?
I told you, those things don't have any strength. I smashed 3 of them and pushed another one out the door.
Did you hear me when I told you they turned over our car?
Oh, hell, any good 5 men can do that.
That's my point. Only there's not going to be 5 or even 10. There's going to be 20, 30, maybe 100 of those things. And as soon as they know we're here, this place is going to be crawling with them.
Well, if there are that many, they'll probably get us wherever we are.
Look, the cellar. The cellar, there's only one door, right? Just one door, that's all we have to protect. Tom and I fixed it so it locks and boards from the inside. But up here, all these windows, why, we'd never know where they were going to hit us next.
You got a point, Mr. Cooper. But down in the cellar, there's no place to run to. I mean, if they did get in, there'd be no back exit. We'd be done for. We can get out of here if we have to. And we got windows to see what's going on outside. But down there with no windows, if a rescue party did come, we wouldn't even know it.
But the cellar is the strongest place.
The cellar is a death trap.
I don't know, Mr. Cooper. I think he's right. You know how many's out there?
I don't know. I think maybe 6 or 7.
Look, you two can do whatever you like. I'm going back down to the cellar, and you better decide. Because I'm going to board up that door, and I'm not going to unlock it again no matter what happens.
Now, wait a minute, Mr. Cooper.
No, I'm not going to wait. I've made my decision, now you make yours.
Now, wait a minute. Let's think about this. We can make it to the cellar if we have to. And if we do decide to stay down there, we'll need some things from up here. So let's at least consider this a while.
If you box yourself in the cellar and those things get in the house, you've had it. At least up here you have a fighting chance.
Yeah, it looks like about 8 or 10 out there now.
There's more than there were. There are a lot out back, too.
It's all right.
Gotta fix these boards.
You're crazy. Those things are going to be at every window and door in this place. We've got to get down into the cellar.
Go down in your damn cellar. Get out of here!
I'm taking the girl with me.
You leave her here. Keep your hands off her. And everything else that's up here, too. Because if I stay up here, I'm fighting for everything up here. And the radio and the food is part of what I'm fighting for. Now, if you're going down the cellar, get.
The man's insane. He's insane. We've got to have food down there. We've got a right.
This your house.
We've got a right.
You going down there with him?
Well,
Yes or no? This is your last chance. No beating around the bush.
Listen, I got a kid down there. She can't possibly. I couldn't bring her up here. She can't possibly take all the racket and those things smashing through the windows.
Well, you're her father. If you're stupid enough to go die in that trap, that's your business. However, I am not stupid enough to follow you. It is tough for the kid that her old man is so stupid. Now, you get the hell down in the cellar. You can be the boss down there. I'm boss up here.
You bastards. You know, I won't open this door again. I mean it.
Mr. Cooper, with your help, we could...
With my help.
Let him go, man. His mind is made up. Just let him go.
Wait a minute. Judy, come on up here, honey.
You're gonna let them get hurt too, huh?
It's all right, honey. Go ahead. If we stick together, man, we can fix it up real good. There's lots of places we can run to up here. Mr. Cooper, we'd all be a lot better off if all three of us were working together.
Hey. Hey, kid.
He's wrong, you know. I'm not boxing myself in down there.
This radio station will remain on the air day and night.
Well, we're safe now. It's boarded up tight.
What about Tom and Judy?
They want to stay up there, let them. There are two other people upstairs, a man and a girl.
We heard you screaming.
Yeah, but I didn't know who they were, and I wasn't about to take any unnecessary chances.
Of course not, Harry.
Is she all right?
I don't know what it is. She feels warm. Maybe it's shock.
Where'd you get the bandage?
Some laundry in a basket. I tore a sheet.
Let them stay upstairs. Let them. Too many ways those monsters can get in up there. We'll see who's right. We'll see when they come begging me to let them in down here.
That's important, isn't it?
What?
To be right, everybody else to be wrong.
What do you mean by that?
Does anyone up there know why we're being attacked?
Whatever it isn't just happening here. It's some kind of mass murder. It's going on everywhere. The radio said to stay inside.
Radio?
Radio upstairs. I heard a news bulletin.
There's a radio upstairs and you boarded us in down here?
I know what I'm doing.
What did it say?
Nothing. Nothing. They don't know anything yet. There's mass murder everywhere, and people are supposed to look for a safe place to hide.
Take the boards off that door.
We are staying down here, Helen.
Harry, that radio is at least some kind of communication. If the authorities know what's happening, well, they'll send people for us to tell us what to do. How are we going to know what's going on if we lock ourselves in this dungeon? We may not enjoy living together, but dying together isn't going to solve anything. Those people aren't our enemies.
Mr. Cooper! Mr. Cooper, Ben found a television set upstairs.
Let's go up. Tom?
Yeah.
If Judy would come downstairs for a few minutes, Harry and I could come upstairs.
Okay, yeah, right away.
Will you do it?
Do I have to?
Look, honey, nothing's gonna get done with them down there and us up here. Do this for me.
Okay.
Open up.
I'll take good care of her, Helen. She's all I have. Why don't you go upstairs now?
Her brother was killed.
Hey, give me a hand with this thing.
I gotta go help Ben with the television.
This is the latest disclosure in a report from National Civil Defense Headquarters in Washington. It has been established that persons who have recently died have been returning to life and committing acts of murder. A widespread investigation of reports from funeral homes, morgues, and hospitals has concluded that the unburied dead are coming back to life and seeking human victims. It's hard for us here to believe what we're reporting to you, but it does seem to be a fact. When this emergency first began, radio and television was advising people to stay inside, behind locked doors for safety. Well, that situation has now changed, and we're able to report a definite course of action for you. Civil defense machinery has been organized to provide rescue stations with food, shelter, medical treatment, and protection by armed National Guardsmen. Stay tuned to the broadcasting stations in your local area for this list of rescue stations. This list will be repeated throughout our news coverage. Look for the name of the rescue station nearest you and make your way to that location as soon as possible.
So we have that truck. If we can get some gas, we can get out of here.
There's a pump out by the shed.
I know, that's why I pulled in here, but it's locked.
Called this afternoon by the President. Since convening this conference of the Presidential Cabinet, the FBI, the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the CIA has not produced any public information. Why are space experts being consulted about an earthbound emergency? Well, so far, all the betting on the answer to that question centers on the recent Explorer satellite shot to Venus. That satellite, you'll recall, started back to Earth, but never got here. That's the space vehicle which orbited Venus and then was purposely destroyed by NASA when scientists discovered it was carrying a mysterious high-level radiation with it. Could that radiation be somehow responsible for the wholesale murders we're now suffering? Newsman Don Quinn in Washington has posed those questions.
It's obvious our best move is to try to get out of here.
How are you going to get over to that pump? Look!
You're coming from a meeting regarding the explosion of the Venus probe, is that right?
Yes, that was the subject of the meeting.
You feel there is a connection between this and the phenomenon?
There's a definite connection.
In other words, you feel that the radiation on the Venus probe is enough to cause these mutations?
There was a very high degree of radiation. Well, just a minute. I'm not sure that that's certain at all. I don't think that has been
logical explanation that we
proved.
have at this time.
We're hoping to get some further explanation of this.
We've heard all we need to know. We have to try to get out of here.
He said the rescue stations have doctors and medical supplies. If we could get Karen there, we could get help for her.
Belno is one of the world's foremost authorities on space science and technology.
Willard. I saw a sign that said Willard.
It's only about 17 miles from here.
You know this area. You from around here?
Judy and I are both from around here. We were on our way up to the lake to go swimming. And Judy had a radio, and we heard the first reports about this. So we knew the old house was here, and we came in and found the lady upstairs dead. Then these other people came. We went down into the basement and put a bar across the door, and it is pretty strong.
How could we possibly get away from here? We've got a sick child, 2 women, 1 woman out of her head, 3 men, and the place is surrounded with these things.
For NASA. Dr. Grimes, your entire staff, I know, has been working very hard to find some solution to these things that are happening. Do you have any answers at this time?
Yes, we have some answers. But first, let me stress the importance of seeking medical attention for anyone who's been injured in any way. We don't know yet what complications might result from such injuries.
How bad has your kid been hurt?
Good advice, Doctor. Now, how about the basic problem of patients?
Look, you go down there and tell... Judy? Yeah, you tell Judy to come up here and you stay with the kid, all right?
We better get her downstairs.
We have to go downstairs now, Barbara.
She's right. You have to go downstairs now, just for a little while, until we get back. Then we can all leave.
Oh, I'd like to leave. Yes.
Good luck.
Yeah. cellar.
I'm going.
It's too late. It's too late.
Well, is it coming? Come on. Get in.
This key won't work.
Watch it. Watch the torch.
Gotta get away from the pump. Hang on.
Tom! Tom, you're crazy! Get out of the truck!
Let's get out of here. Come on, come on.
My jacket's gone.
Drag you out there and feed you those things.
isn't it 3 o'clock yet? There's supposed to be another broadcast at 3 o'clock.
10 minutes.
Oh, only 10 more minutes? We don't have very long to wait. We can leave. Well, we'd better leave soon. It's 10 minutes to 3.
You know anything about this area at all? I mean, is Willard the nearest town?
I don't know. We were just trying to get to a motel before dark.
You said those things turned your car over. You think we can get it back on its wheels and drive it? Where is it?
Seems like it was pretty far away. Seems like we ran.
Forget it. It's at least a mile.
Johnny has the keys.
You gonna carry that child a mile through that army of things out there?
I can carry the kid. What's wrong with her? How'd she get hurt?
One of those things grabbed her.
Bit her on the arm.
What's wrong?
Who knows what kind of disease those things carry? Is she conscious?
Barely.
She can't walk. She's too weak.
Well, one of us could try to get to the car.
You gonna turn it over by yourself?
You can't start the car. Johnny has the keys.
You have a car? Where? Where is it?
You won't be able to start it.
Yeah, I know. But where is it?
Good Lord.
Being monitored closely by scientists at all the radiation detection stations. At this hour, they report the level of the mysterious radiation continues to increase steadily. So long as this situation remains, government spokesmen warn that dead bodies will continue to be transformed into the flesh-eating ghouls. All persons who die during this crisis, from whatever cause, will come back to life to seek human victims unless their bodies are first disposed of by cremation. Our news cameras have just returned from covering such a search and destroy operation against the ghouls, this one conducted by Sheriff Conan McClellan in Butler County, Pennsylvania. So now let's go to that film report. All law enforcement agencies and the military have been organized to search out and destroy the marauding ghouls. The Survival Command Center at the Pentagon has disclosed that a ghoul can be killed by a shot in the head or a heavy blow to the skull. Officials are quoted as explaining that since the brain of a ghoul has been activated by the radiation, the plan is kill the brain and you kill the ghoul. Inclined to speculate just how long it may take to kill off all the flesh eaters, so long as the heavy radiation.
Hey, Vince, Al, you want to get about 4 or 5 men and a couple dogs? There's a house over here behind those trees. We want to go check it out.
Frank,
You still here, Bill?
Yeah, Chief, we're going to stay with it till we meet up with the National Guard.
Where'd you get the coffee?
One of the volunteers, you're doing all the work, you take it.
Thank you. We should be wrapped up here about 3 or 4 more hours, and we'll probably get into Willard then. I guess you can go over there and meet the National Guard. Nick, you and the rest of these men want to come with me?
Well, Bill, I'm check in the office, see what's happening. All right, Steve, tell them we're going to stay with it, and everything appears to be under control.
They need you down there by the barn. Some of these guys can follow the wagon down. I only need a few men to check out the house. Somebody had a cookout here, Vince.
Yeah, sure looks like it, Cal.
He's a dead one. Get up here. Nick, Tony, Steve, you want to get out in that field and build me a bonfire? You, drag that out of here and throw it on the fire.
Nothing down here.
All right, go ahead down and give him a hand. Let's go check out the house, man.
There's something there. I heard a noise.
All right, Vince, hit him in the head, right between the eyes. Good shot. Okay, he's dead. Let's go get him. That's another one for the fire.
All right, send the wagon through directly ahead. Over.
Keep those dogs back off of those things.
Go more quickly.
Come ahead with the motorcycle, please. Let's go, Van. That's the way. Hey, Randy, light these torches over here. People in the back. We're in the back.
Still a horror classic and still terrifying. A movie filled with not just biting zombies, but biting social commentary and much tongue-in-cheek humor. I just love this film.
Oh, Zelda, as always, you were correct. And for so many reasons. You know, this was the perfect film for a night like this one. And, you know, I'm sure you cats out there are getting the same kind of vibe I am, wherever you're watching this film from and whoever you're watching this film with.
And we thank all of our cool fans who join us tonight for one of our favorite movies to help us celebrate being together all of these years of showing the movies that must be shown.
You know, I want to thank all the beatniks, the cool chicks, the hep cats, the hipsters who join us at the coffee house each and every week to give us such great movie suggestions, poems, letters, and just amazing good vibes all along. We salute you, cats and chicks. We love you.
And tonight, more than ever, keep watching the sky.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.